catch all the action live and direct. All of your thoughts, your comments, even your questions, they're absolutely welcome. But let me say good morning and a very warm welcome. No stranger to our 3FM Sunrise platform. Emmanuel Kuting is in the house. He's the Executive Director, African Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Emmanuel, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy new month as well to you. Hope you're well.
Thank you, Helen. And very good morning to your good self, your production team. It's a new month.
It's a new
beginning,
month.
New things. And good morning and happy new month to your cherished listeners.
Can we show Mr. Kuting very quickly before we get into the key issues? Because today the swag is on 10,000. No, I have to put the spotlight on this outfit. I'm so sorry.
That's the beauty of African print. We should value and cherish our own. You see that I've always been in African print.
This is African made?
Yeah, this is African made.
Oh wow.
So
it's beautiful.
We should sell our own to the world.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing. If you finish listening to us, send a message and we'll tell you how you too can look just as exquisite this morning. As for this outfit, dear, no size.
Kitty see a young man called Peaches Collection.
Oh, I see.
So I will drop his number in case anybody needs something like this. It's very reasonable as well.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you added that because these days we want to look fashionable, but some of the price points.
Peaches is very reasonable.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we've tabled, as I mentioned, a few issues, and I did want to pick your thoughts on this particular one because it's gone viral. Everybody has been talking to it, and I've been testing the pulse with the everyday Ghanaian, and I've been a little bit alarmed by the feedback I'm getting from fellow Ghanaians. It's that viral video of an eyewitness and a Joy News journalist being manhandled by army personnel. There was an interview ongoing because there was a demolition happening, and the manner in which the soldiers moved in, we saw some kind of ropes, and it wasn't good. Both the eyewitness and the journalist. And the feedback from the everyday Ghanaian is that, well, if this is the way our security personnel want to treat us, it's not going to be a good banter. We deserve respect. Why should we be on the receiving end of slaps and so on and so forth?
Thank you, Ellen. In fact, when I saw the footage, I was quite surprised as a security practitioner. In fact, we are in a democracy for Christ's sake, and we voted for a reset, but not this kind of reset. You see, what are the issues? A court order to reclaim a parcel of land for the Ghana Airport Company Limited. This is a legitimate exercise. And when there are court orders involved, it is the police that enforces it. Unless, of course, the police feel that they are not able to perform such activities and may need the hands of the military. I was shocked to see national security involved in this exercise, you understand? And it sends a negative picture out there as if it's a political vendetta because of the person involved, Magdan, you understand?
Right.
And to me, a crime is a crime in this country. We shouldn't kind of glorify personalities, you understand? And I think there must be some form of training for our journalists and our security personnel as a whole, so that you guys can play the complementary role that the Constitution has always enshrined you guys to do. It looks as if there's always tension between the journalists and the security personnel. So you remember the police issue. So to me, it doesn't send a good image in terms of our democracy. Don't forget, Ghana is the beacon of democracy in West Africa, and the entire world is looking at us. So it was a low for me, especially an attack on the journalists. But please, you the journalists, there were two people involved here. There was a civilian as well.
That's right.
But it looks as if we are trumpeting that of the journalists at the expense of the civilian. They both have equal rights.
That's
you understand? And I think we must all condemn such acts in no uncertain terms. They don't have a place in our democracy. We want to build our institutions, and we are building our institutions that will take care of everybody tomorrow. You remember when the NPP was in power, some of us spoke that, look, the institutions you leave will take care of you when you leave office. So it should be a cue to the NDC in government today that, look, the institutions you build or the legacy you leave behind, same institution will take care of you tomorrow. And let's look at this comparative analysis. In 2016, Nana Akufo-Addo won over what? Close to 1 million votes. By 2020, those votes have gone. 2024, look at the gap. So NDC should remember that power is transient. You understand?
Goodwill doesn't last forever.
Goodwill doesn't last forever. And if you go to social media and you see what is coming up, NDC needs to really sit up. And you see, NDC must remember, especially the political class, that if they are not able to put their boys into order, especially those boys they pack at national security without any professional training because of political expediency, their actions and inactions indirectly has a political capital on the government. So we must be minded and understand that these things don't last. 8 years ago, MPP felt they were very untouchable. It is unfolding before our eyes today. So I'm just pleading to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that, look, the honeymoon period for him is over. And if he doesn't get his acts right, and Ghanaians begin to revolt, like we are seeing on social media now, nothing this government will do, no matter how good it is, Ghanaians will appreciate it because the damage is already done. And another thing I feel has worried and will worry this government is the supposed plea bargain the Attorney General entered with the former Minister of Finance and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Look, truth be told, we must shy away from certain things. You know, Dominic Ayini was his lawyer when he was facing prosecution. Now, Ayini becomes the Attorney General, and all of a sudden you are entering a nollie prosecutor. It's a complete conflict of interest, you understand? And I feel so sad even for Dr. Komna Dufona. He may be enjoying some kind of reprieve, right? But criminal cases don't die. The only surest place you can get a plea bargain and be safe is the court, and not with the Attorney General.
You say let the court recognize it.
Exactly.
That way, when or if power changes hands, you're not vulnerable.
Yes. So to me, we are building our institutions, and you know, what is wrong yesterday cannot be right today. My initial comment on this, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kutin, for that. Let me also say good morning and a very warm welcome to Mr. Timothy Awotrim, former MP, Bilsa North. Yeah. Honorable, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning. I'm doing well, and we thank God for His mercies this morning that we are alive and healthy. And it's good to see my brother Emmanuel Kutin. I think the last time we met casual at where?
We met at GTV.
Okay, so it's been some time, and then to my brother Solomon Owusu.
Yes.
It's been a long time, and I'm happy that I've been this morning sandwiched by two lost friends.
We do have Solomon Owusu in the studios, Senior Communicator, Movement for Change. I would read out some of the comments in anticipation of Solomon's arrival, but I want him to be able to leave the studio with his head intact. Otherwise, the head size can it can even explode. So I'll keep those comments to myself. Solomon, good morning.
I see you with the Constitution and things everywhere. Bible.
So it's good to see you.
Good to be here, Helen.
Thank you for honoring the invitation. Today we've got a lot to talk about, but Honorable, let me come to you because Mr. Kutin was making some good points. I wanted your reactions just very quickly to that video that we've seen gone viral. And I was telling Mr. Kutin, when I opened up the phone lines over the last 48 hours, the people are not happy. The people are saying that if this is the way our security personnel are going to treat us with the seeming lack of respect, they say we will we will respond. And that we can't encourage that kind of banter whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's about the Magdan issue, is that not it?
That's right. An eyewitness was assaulted, manhandled, as was a journalist.
Yes, we'll come to the journalist issue. You see,
right. Truth
be told, Magdan is not the only one who put up a structure there. Why was Magdan's warehouse pulled down? Was the land leased to him legally? Has he got document covering these things? And if he has, his place is go to the court. When this country, when embassies were illegally pulled down by people like Magdan, the Nigerian embassy was pulled down by a private developer. I think the Bulgarian embassy is so on. Ghana Airports Company has every responsibility to protect its lands. Why did Magdan not complete his legal processes and started building? What was he hiding? Or he thought that he could build and later on complete the legal process? What is the lease given to each of? Give us the lease. All lands that belongs to the people of this country that has been taken over by state institutions. If you want public property land, you must go through the right processes and then get the lease, and documentations are covered. It can be leased you for 50 years, 100 years, and so on. Magda is the same fellow they've given the domestic aspect of our airport to. What was the procurement processes that led to Magda owing that aspect? What was it? Magda has other properties. Why have they not been pulled down? Go to East Legon, he has a big building. Why is it not? It has not been pulled down. People take unauthorized way and unorthodox way to acquire government property because government at the time was favoring them. So they use kangaroo ways to jump the processes and take it. And you think that when we came in, we want to reset, we leave everybody. In any case, if they tell us that political prosecution, if you do things politically, you must be politically persecuted. When Magdan was pulling down other people's structures, people's computers and items were there. They did not even give them any notice and pull the whole thing down. People printing machines. Airport company, you were with the airport company. How come that you did not acquire this thing legally? And you think that you can start, sometimes this is what happened. Oh, the land is, let me start building. By the time they finish, let me go and negotiate because the building is on it. No, look, go to what we call SADA, the Northern Development Authority office by American Embassy.
Right.
Take your cameras and see what happened. A wall property for National Northern Development Authority, is that not it? SADA. Go and see. Before we took over, half of the land has been given to a woman without the necessary documentation. So he also came and built in the same building. So Oral went and pulled it down. Is that how we do to public property in this country? Just go to the American Embassy this morning and go, you see that they've pulled. He just came inside. For instance, in this room, this is the building for national development or Northern Development. And then he then put a line in between and then cross it and say this part is for him. How do you give public property like that? Because someone is called Magdan, he's rich, he's a prominent guy. If you know that you should be able to do the right, hasn't Magdan got lawyers? Is it then that he's operating without a legal department? Look at the Adasong assault. People died. People blood spilled because of Magdan's activities. Why must you always do that? And lord your privileges over poor people of this country. For me, the journalist issue was a no-no.
It was journalists and eyewitness.
Yes, whatever it is, they were not even part of it. I was happy Magdan was arrested and his two people.
I believe it wasn't he himself. It was
those,
his officers or those.
Because we can't do that. We cannot appropriate government property. That is for all of us to free people. Go to cantonments. Go and see how they've taken all government lands. When you check, they don't have documents. They quickly build so that when it comes, you are pulling down public property. Is Magdan the only one who has got property there? If you acquire it legally, your property will not be pulled. If you acquire illegal, it must be brought down.
But in fact, Honorable, at the center of this conversation, to be honest, from what I've monitored, hasn't even got to do too much with the pulling down of the structure. That is a conversation in of itself. The conversation that has sent a lot of Ghanaians into a frenzy is this issue that national security operatives are men in uniform. They treat us with some kind of disregard, a lack of respect. I mean, if you watch the video, the manner in which the soldier, just approached this eyewitness, started hitting him, the kind of intimidation meted out to the journalist, that has been the focus of the conversation.
Yeah, that is what I said. I agree with him. He also talked about it this morning. And for me, that issue can be trashed. The president has said that the issues involving the journalists and probably the private fellow, they should be thoroughly investigated, and those who are culpable will be taken through due process and punished for that. So he has issued a strong warning. Even citing himself like a journalist, he will not allow such things to pass by, and he's going to organize a kind of meeting between the Ghana Journalists Association vis-a-vis the top hierarchy of security couples to ensure that we have a cordial relation, because we are all partners in development. One should not be seen to be forcefully handling the other one when they are all doing separate jobs and so on. You understand? So for me, I don't have anything about the public outrage about the treatment of either a journalist or any other public officer that was legally doing his job and you have been manhandled. You see, but the issue is that I've heard time and again the Journalists Association president talking hard. And said they are going to call a nationwide blackout on the police and so on.
That's right.
I don't think it has gotten there. You and the police are almost all the time working together.
Oh, in fact, Honorable, for our fraternity, it cannot happen quick enough because we are fed up. Honorable, we are fed up.
I'm coming there, please. Because there was journalists that treated manhandle hoodlums within the MPP, that manhandle journalists. But the loudest noise you are making, I didn't make it at the time. That's my concern. We're here when they invaded studios. Caleb Kuda was in the daytime, like an armed robber taken to national security, tied and beaten.
That's right.
We had journalists who were to interview people. I think there was a demonstration. One of the Joy FN journalists asked another guy is struggling. He's begging for his life. We can go on and recount them, but like he said this morning, we cannot repeat mistake that was done. In fact, at the time it was done, who was the president? It was an outlet that said that he's a human rights, lawyer and a president and so on. It happened. People at the Flagstar House were beaten to pulp in the center of governance. Look at Nanka Bruce. Macho men manhandling. We can go on and go. It's replete. I'm talking about the interest. You see, those who were quiet when these atrocities were being done to journalists should forever keep their mouth shut and allow those who were talking at the time to talk. I've been with him on programs, and as at the time he was talking, so I won't fault anything about him. You understand? So for me, those who kept quiet when journalists were being manhandled, they should forever keep their mouth shut. It's not a time for them to talk. And they should shut their mouths forever. Then my brother Kutin talked about the plea bargain and talked about the fact that Honorable Dr. Ayini was a lawyer to, Doctor. But you see, Honorable Dr. Ayini was a lawyer to him at the time. He wasn't an attorney general. He didn't know that he became an attorney general. And as a lawyer, they can rent your services at any time.
The law is clear.
I'm coming.
Let's educate our people. The law is clear. The law states that a lawyer can never forsake a former client.
Let me
come, please.
Wrap it up his thoughts and then we come in.
Dr. Ayini's chamber did not finish the case with Dr. Dufo. The second chambers that took over was Akufo-Addo and Prempeh chambers that handled his case. And that did not even end. It went to another law firm. So 3 law firms. Why are you not talking about the other zeroing on Ayini? Ayini was the initial stage. Then later on, Adufo himself said that, no, I want Akufo-Addo and Prempeh to handle my case. And they handled the case. And he even changed to another one too. So why is it? Why is the conflict of interest? Before even he became the client, the man had changed 2 law firms, Akufo-Addo and Prempeh. And then the second one that I've forgotten, 3 chambers. So it means I didn't even left the man long time. So where's the conflict of interest?
In fact, today it's not on my menu, gentlemen. It's not on my menu. Yesterday.
A quick response.
So for me, what the Attorney General is doing, in fact, it takes an Attorney General who is bold and meticulous to come out to be able to explain why he has filed a nolle prosequi. There have been times past, even Akufo-Addo himself filed a nolle prosequi, he wasn't obliged by the law to explain to. So if you see an Attorney General who constantly address the people, because you must carry the people along. That's what accountable government, participatory democracy is all about. The people ought to know. And if they know this through the Attorney General briefing, it makes us a better informed people. We're able to track the cases and know whether this case is that or that. So for me, I think Attorney General has done well. I prefer an Attorney General who is transparent than an Attorney General who will call a client before a Supreme Court judge house and coach him to go and lie that they should jail a sitting member of parliament so they will cause by-election.
You know, yesterday...
I prefer a transparent Attorney General who will give us the brief than a lying Attorney General who wants to jail a member of parliament for political expediency.
In fact, yesterday we unraveled this particular conversation in quite some deep detail. I had some three strong gentlemen in the studio as well, and so I don't want to rehash the conversation, but we got into a lot of nuanced conversation. Today we have a lot on the plate, so I don't want us to digress too much.
I just want to correct some impression with my senior brother, the Honorable former MP. He knows what I stand for. I believe in just and equitable institution for everybody, irrespective of your ranking in society or whatever. You see, we are setting a dangerous precedent.
You really think it's a dangerous?
It's a dangerous precedent. If there's change of government today.
Is it really black and white? Because a lot of themes emerge from what has happened so far. What do we really as a Ghanaian society, do we want blood? Do we want jail? Do we want our money back? Is there a way that we can address all of these things in a nuanced fashion?
You see why?
And you remember the ambulance cases?
Wait.
The supplier said, "Let me bring my money."
Some
take
over
my
$2 million.
The Attorney General was so obsessed to jail an innocent man. He said, "No, we don't want the money."
It's not about that.
So we don't have the money.
Today we don't have the money. You have not also jailed the fellow who lost.
Helen, you see, you know what? Corruption has become endemic in Africa.
That's
because we don't enforce the law. We are not punitive enough. And one of the main reasons we are poor, we are underdeveloped, is the leakages due to corruption. So if you take this route, Helen, the future is so bleak for our children. Let's think about our children. As for us, we have lost it. What society are we building? What legacies are we leaving for our children? Look, from my street law, a lawyer cannot betray a former client. It doesn't matter if you represented the person for even 1 second. And if at any point in time there's any conflict of interest situation like I am talking about, you excuse yourself. That is what the law says. But if you go and you enter into this kind of arrangement, what precedent are we setting? Do you know Atu is in prison? He's almost dying. He has developed a spinal injury.
He's been granted a 10 million cedi bail.
He has been granted a bail. But you know, we spoke about it. I championed it that, look, if we are going to 60-40% play arrangement, some people are walking free, at least Atu paid up some money, except that he couldn't pay all the 90 million.
That's right.
So if by that analogy, probably he had even paid the 60%. He has no business even being in jail. And somebody made an argument that he was convicted, probably because he didn't have the muscle to pull the levers and delay prosecution. You understand? So to me, we are building our democracy. Let's build our institutions. What is wrong yesterday cannot be right today. And we shouldn't be setting this dangerous precedent. Otherwise, I will find it so businessly attractive to engage in corruption, go and take government 100 million cedis, and go and do serious business with it. When they arrest me, I say, no, I'll bring 60%. Are you okay? And you can imagine, I would have had capital to even start a business on my own. We don't want this kind of thing. Let's remove
Mr.
the
Kuti, let me ask a question. Would the fact that your name is even being repeated on air in the morning, and the fact that you are constantly being discussed, and every time we Google your name, corruption, this, is that punitive enough?
My dear Helen, who really cares? In Ghana or Africa today, people are looking at what is in your pocket. Look at what Chama to me and Co went through. They go to programs, everybody is hailing them and giving their name. It has become the new normal. They'll say, who have not done this before? You understand? So this is what we are encouraging. So until we start giving deterrent measures and punishment, these things will continue. And it's the reason why we are not where we are. I'm telling you that in Africa, given the resources God has blessed us, if we use it judiciously with good leadership, I tell you, the white man will even come and live in Africa. They don't have sun, we have sun.
So I wasn't going to go there, but you have all taken me there, so we will go there.
Yeah, I know. You have allowed them to send me there.
I mean, would it surprise you that given the option of recouping several million Ghanaian cedis and the option of going to jail, would it surprise you that some young Ghanaians would say, no, jail him? Because at the time that I didn't have money, my mental health was in the abyss. Think about how degrading it is, how humiliating it is, for young men especially. When you don't have money in your pocket, the psychological toll it takes on you. And you think about men and women in leadership positions, enjoying their largesse and then also stealing from the coffers. Somebody will say, I don't even want to see one peswa of that money. Send him or send her to jail. Does that surprise you that is what somebody wants? Somebody doesn't even want 60%. They say, take him to jail.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, if by your actions and inactions, first of all, let me greet my brothers, Iman and the former MP for Busa. North. I should add the North.
That's why the North, because there's one for South.
Oh, really?
Dr.
Yes.
Park.
Yes.
They divided it.
You see, let's put it this way. A couple of days ago, 15 able-bodied young men were traveling from Koforia to, as it were, Gaso or Obugu. They were killed on the road through an accident. And what was the cause of the road accident? A tanker driver did an overtaking and then got a tire burst. So the incoming vehicle had a collision, head-on collision. All 15 of them gone. Now you go and check that road. That road was supposed to be part of the 750 million Exim Bank facility that we took to dualize the Accra-Kumasi road. Now the road is not completed. Money is finished. It means the money is in the pockets of people. So the root cause of that collusion or death is corruption. That as a result of the impunity of people in government who just steals without any fear, 15 able-bodied people who could have been lawyers, who could have been journalists like you, Helen, who could have been president, are gone just like that. They weren't sick. Now, when such people are arrested, to those families that lost their loved ones, they wouldn't be interested in the money. They believe that that person who caused the harm must be killed. You get my point? And so, I don't begrudge anybody that says that they want to see them in jail. In any case, I disagree with my brother. I went to me today. We cannot justify what the Attorney General has done in the Dufo case. Whether or not he is justified, let's even say that the money is not there because you can't put something on nothing. Let's say the 100% is not there. This is not something that you come and announce to us because whatever you do becomes a precedent. We are talking about a national service case pending that we are already told that 548 million has been stolen. Now, additional discoveries have been made that 180 million has also been transferred somewhere. If you add to it, we are talking about 700 million. Now, if these people come to the Attorney General and say that we also want to, as it were, go through the route or the dispensation that you offered to do for, and so we are also ready to pay 60%. What moral justification would you have in denying them? You can't. So that it becomes the law of the day. Go and steal, and when you steal, if you steal 1 billion, make sure that 600 million is somewhere. Trade with the 400 million. When there is an issue, just tell them that if 600 is there, come and take it. It's a bad press, it's a bad PR, it's a bad image created for this government. Because I'm one of those that have praised this Attorney General and really want him to succeed. And I will help him to succeed. Criticizing him on this is just to let him understand that he has people that believe that he can do better. You have represented the client before. Whether or not you did it genuinely, I mean, the reasonable deduction would be that because you represented him in the past, that's why you are giving him this dispensation, which may not be the case, but it sends a very bad signal. I believe he needs to issue another release to override the earlier one. I heard him during the accountability series try to explain. The explanation is not sitting well. He must stop it.
Would you rather he had not even given any explanation?
I mean, but it's good. It's good. Now, what he has done, it means that successive attorney generals, future attorney generals, any knowledge prosecutor they issue, they must give us the explanation.
They are not. They don't have to.
But we must amend our laws, because then it could be bogus reasons. You get my point? Mind you, they are representing you and I. They are not there on their own. They are leading us as a country. I have commended him on the fact that he missed the press and explains cases that he's doing. People that are not comfortable, people that are culpable are urging him not to do that.
They say he's talking too much.
He has to talk.
No, he has to talk.
He has to. You see, if you are Attorney General and he fails to carry your people along, that's the end of you. We will have the benefit of coming and to sit behind the microphone and can churn out propaganda. And propaganda is a powerful tool in public discourse.
Indeed.
So if you are not going to speak, and we set the agenda for you, how are you going to win your cases in court? And mind you, the judges over there, they are swayed by public opinion.
Yeah.
They listen to the public a lot. As we are speaking or having this discussion, there's a judge listening. The arguments that come out can change the mindset. Your callers, what they say is what informed their opinion. And so you cannot be an attorney general that believes in your case and will not come out. After all, whatever, even in our legal dispensation currently, whatever you are going to say in court or whatever issues you have against one another, you are supposed to give it to the person before the trial starts. So before the trial starts, we don't have surprises anymore. So there is nothing that should be surprising. Whatever it comes to tell us, whatever is taken to court. So you prepare yourself and meet him there. So that we are all carried along. This morning, there might be a case involving the state. How would I get a chance to go and listen? But if the Attorney General was to be briefing us periodically, we know that these are the cases in court. And we can even form an opinion and say, this Attorney General, this one is so good. Yeah. You're wrong. Don't send it. Because you are represented at the end of the day, when you go and lose, it is the state that will pay for compensation. So, on that score, the Unibank is, in fact, they have done a great disservice to do force integrity. Yeah. If you read the press statement or release, paragraph 5 of it, they said this does not vindicate him of any wrongdoing. And that they believe that he has done something wrong. Then you go back to the cases that were taken to court, issue of money laundering, issue of fraudulently breaching trust, and so on and so forth. Are you saying he is wrong on all these charges? You understand? So for me, if I were them, I would have gone through the full hog, and then if he's vindicated, that's fair.
He says he doesn't want to take that gamble. At the very least, I mean, if you go, like we saw in the last regime, you go through the process, you don't get any conviction, you don't get jail time, and guess what? You don't get any money back into your state coffers. What about that line of argument?
See, this Attorney General, when he came, he struck out a far certain knowledge prosecutor, which I agreed. In the case of Opuni, I followed the case into two. But I'm very curious. When you steal my money as a public officer, I get mad. This morning, in our struggles, we are paying taxes. When we come here, you give us water. That water contains tax element. Then we give all to one person to manage for it. Not that you are that special. All of us can be ministers. All of us can be heads of institutions. What's the basic qualification? You don't even have to have an educational background to be a minister.
Yeah.
So if by grace, the grace of the people, they say go and represent us, you don't go and do anything anyhow. So the Opuni's case was something that shouldn't have ended up in court in any case because of political persecution, the way and manner the prosecution was going. So I agreed with him on that. In the case of what was the other one? I say McDan. No, which one?
Is the McDonald?
No, I'm coming. No. I'm talking about the cases that he filed.
He filed the newly prescribed. He filed when he came to office.
The Atto-Forson case.
Atto-Forson, yeah.
The Atto-Forson case, that was also a political persecution. Because if you have done business and understand how letter of credit operates, there was no way. In fact, I felt ashamed.
And even the current governor of the Bank of Ghana.
Absolutely. I felt so ashamed as a Ghanaian that our Attorney General did not understand what letter of credit. I mean, you are not supposed to understand anything, but at least you had institutions that could explain to you how these things work. Yet he was busily in court prosecuting a wrong person. The one that should have even been prosecuted, if there was supposed to be a prosecution, was the Animina, the Ghana Health Service person. They were the institution buying. But Finance Ministry, no. It was a shame. And no wonder the Court of Appeal overturned that verdict. So for me, that one, even though he didn't find the null prosecution, the court had already overturned the verdict.
That's right.
So he was right on that. But in Dufour's case, nobody, insider trading, that depositors bring money and you give it to yourselves. When we are businesses that we are supposed to go and take that money to trade, then you are giving to yourself. What sort of life is that? That does not also mean that the past administration was right in collapsing Unibank. That was the bogus decision. That you don't collapse a business. Helen has done something wrong with 3FM. You come here, you have producers, you have a lot of people working here, and because of Helen, you collapse the entire 3FM. Are you okay? Call out Helen, go and deal with Helen in court. If she's culpable, apply the laws and let the business run so that the producers and all those that are working will continue to be in business. There will be another presenter here. That's how any reasonable person does.
Right.
But you don't go about because of political persecution. In the same vein, at the time that you were closing Unibank, Capital Bank, there were other banks that were in a serious, more dilapidating situation than the bank that you were collapsing. What was the position of Prudential Bank? Why didn't you collapse it? NIB. It was gone. It was gone. Data Bank, they were struggling. But you kept them because the reason why all of us pay taxes. I mean, governments, they don't know. They are supposed to, as it were, be protecting businesses and individuals in hard times.
That's right.
You understand? So that you can continue to get your tax revenue anytime that you want. You don't come and just collapse it and say that I should be praising you. And it was the reason why the NPP, having won with almost 1 million votes in 2016, by 2020 the gap had reached, because there were a lot of NPP fanatics who are working with Unibank, who are working with Capital Bank, who are working with UT Bank.
So that decision was an own goal.
Own goal. And so if they had done
the Indum group of
yes, there were more NPP people working there.
One paid some of us because he gave rural folks the opportunity to bank.
I mean, you go to certain places you wouldn't expect to see a bank. There is.
Do you understand?
But look at this government, NIB.
They have saved NIB.
They have saved NIB.
That is the rational thing to do.
900 workers have been saved.
Making profits.
Assuming that they are close. More than 900 people.
You understand?
Yes.
This one, you don't need any Harvard textbook. This is just common sense. That you don't
on that note,
it. You understand?
Certainly.
Yes. But back to our madam.
Yes, because it wasn't even on the menu.
I allowed you to set this question
in fact, I fell into the trap easily. He said the trap, and I fell into it. I fell into it.
They have an agenda they are coming to do.
Today, as the young ones say, I slack. But in any case, we can get into our discussions for the morning. I just wanted to pick your thoughts on this. Yesterday, we had a very long discussion about what it is that we want as a people, and also seeking to understand the psychology of this particular Attorney General. You know, we juxtapose that against what happened in the last administration. You know, that we talk about the ambulance case, a company wanting to give some 2 million euros for reputational issues. They said, listen, if there's been any infraction, take this 2 million euros. Attorney General at that time said, no, you want to carry on with the case. And we look at the broader oral agenda as well. As a people, we were thinking yesterday, we opened up the phone lines as well. What is it that we really, really want? And is it enough that if you send individuals to jail, it will be a deterrent? This government came into power off the back of oral. They want to recover all loot. How do we go about that in a way that also sends the signal that we will not be lax when it comes to wrongdoers? I was listening to the Attorney General, and he says that make no bones about it, people will go to jail. But as for this conversation, we could go on and on and on. But let's now turn our attention to the issue of the suspended Chief Justice. We'll touch on that very quickly, then also go on to the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta. And I'll ask all my panelists this morning a similar question, but let me give you a brief background. Now, an Accra High Court has dismissed a judicial review application led by suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Saki Tokonu. The court held that the application for judicial review was an abuse of the court process, as some issues in respect of some reliefs sought by the applicant had already been dealt with by the Supreme Court. Emmanuel, do you have fatigue when it comes to this particular issue? I've got to ask that as my preliminary question, because it's been going on for quite some time.
In fact, I do, and if, my position have not changed. If the suspended Chief Justice is losing court cases in the manner that it is going, it sends one signal, and we have to look at the judicial independence and accountability, and also look at our institutions versus political pressure on certain issues. Truth be told, I was thinking this lady, given she was given the opportunity to serve at the highest epoch of the court, would do everything to protect the sanity of the institution she led. Unfortunately, same cases she took to the Supreme Court and she didn't get her way. She brought the same case to the High Court. It was thrown out. She's at the Human Rights Court at the ECOWAS, seeking $10 million.
Indeed.
And I know with these setbacks for her, I will not be surprised if the matter goes to The Hague. She may want to go to The Hague, because what is happening, I simply don't get it. So when this thing broke, we had the opportunity on the same set, and we had the same idea. So look, given what has happened, this is the first real test for Article 146. It's unprecedented. And we said this lady was a goner. Just negotiate your way out. Then you can go home with your benefits. She will not listen. Look at where we are today. And it has taken a political shape. You see, the MPP is now quiet. Indeed, fatigue have set in. And you ask a very brilliant question, my dear Helen. People say, why do I always refer to you, my dear Helen?
It's allowed.
We need to decode that. So we need to decode, my dear Helen.
You see that? The MPP championed and led this lady to where she is now. She felt she had grounding to stand on something. Fatigue have set in. And this is the sad reality of politics. Politicians will lead you halfway, and you are on your own. So sometimes you don't have to listen to the crowd. Listen to yourself. It is you who is in this. So that all that you have worked for yourself, you don't lose anything. That is not to say don't fight for what is yours or don't defend your rights. But there are some battles you can never win. There are some battles. So that's why the Bible even admonishes us to choose our battles wisely. So to me, she has brought all of this on herself. Fatigue have set in. Nobody is even interested in the matter. Yesterday, I monitored when the court dismissed her applications for abuse of court processes. Then I asked myself, this is the number one person of our appellate court. Filing these frivolous applications to achieve what aim? And you see, I believe in the rule of law. When this thing happened, you recall, the petitions went to the president, and this thing is supposed to be conducted in camera.
Indeed.
The president respected that aspect of the proceedings. She wrote to the president she wanted copies, you recall?
Indeed.
And we said, why is this lady in a rush? And when the president gave her the copies, what did we see? Asasi Radio leaked copious portions of the petitions to the general public. And I don't know what the plans were to kind of gag the public sentiment against government. And she has a favorite quote that the law is the law. So once the president puts a committee in place and the prima facie case was established against her, the president at that point had no option. He becomes the conveying belt as enshrined by the Constitution. And that's what the president really did. You remember the Charlotte Osei's case. And we cannot be hypocrites in this country. What is right yesterday is right today.
Sure.
Or what is wrong yesterday cannot be right today. When those petitions were brought to the president, he formed a committee, a prima facie case was established. What did the president at the time, Nana Akufo-Addo, say? That he was a conveying belt. So what has changed? So to me, I think it's not still too late. She can kind of do a U-turn, have some caucus with government and say, you know what? I don't want to put Ghana's democratic credentials, given we are touted as the beacon of democracy in West Africa, to the international world. We don't want to wash our dirty linens in public. Okay, I'm hesitant. And resign honorably. You go with your gratuities. All these issues were stopped. One single person cannot take the whole judicial service into ransom. And don't forget, even what has transpired and what we are hearing, how are you coming to head this institution, and how are you even going to relate with your peers, given that even your peers are throwing you out? Not that on any personal vendetta, no, but on the basis of law. So she needs to be measured and guided. And
Thank you for that,
let's
Emmanuel.
put our country first. And it's not every battle as an individual you can win. Let's choose our battles wisely.
Honorable, sometimes is it good to be a loser? I mean, from the onset.
You see, whether to be a loser or the winner is through your genuine convictions of what you intend to do with that. And I must say that, like Ima said, we are all fatigued about trying to track the processes of this court. We also all agree, including even the, including even the MPP themselves, that the processes leading to this stage was constitutional apt. Legally, there was nothing wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. So prominent lawyers like Kweku Azar and Sarenko said, look, the procedure that we got to up to this stage, there's nothing wrong. But if there are issues of human rights violations, you can take that aspect, but not to challenge the procedural processes of taking the Chief Justice on. One, the petitioners, we must begin to thank the petitioners because they've exposed the incompetence of the Chief Justice as a head of the judiciary. The judiciary is the third arm of government. So those who occupy those seats must come with undoubted integrity. You should not need anyone to probe you, because the conditions set for judges in these countries are high. They are not even allowed to come and sit and then discuss issues or even interact with us in public and so on, because they want you to uphold independence in your thoughts and in your rules, such a way that even if I lose the case, I say, yes, I've gone through the legal processes. Even though I've lost, I agree with the verdict. So for a suspended Chief Justice. So what was he being the Chief Justice for? Basic legal issues like for which he has issued rulings about the abuse of court processes. About the fact that there were two main rulings yesterday. When you look at the caboodle of issues that were brought, one was abuse of court processes, which was prominent, and the other one, no jurisdiction. That the issues were before the superior court and other court, and they were also before the committee. So the high court had no jurisdiction over some of the issues raised. Are you telling me that she and her lawyers do not know these things? They didn't know that the high court has no jurisdiction over interpretation of clauses of the Constitution. Is that what they were telling us yesterday? Is that what they are telling us? Even me, the two of us are renting, you're a lawyer, we are lawyer, we know what it is. Yeah. Is that what the chief justice and his lawyers were telling us? Is that why she carried to the ECOWAS court? He has to maybe move to the what we call the Commonwealth Court. You see, the chief justice ought to know and should have also known from the beginning. I've heard that some of the petitions were represented by Chachu Chikata and by Thaddeus. These are hard-working, meticulous lawyers. If they agree to take your case, know that you have a case. If Chachu Chikata agrees to take your case, know that you have a case. If Thaddeus agrees to take it, know that you have a case. So if these were these two prominent sons of this country agreed to represent the petitioners, they know that you have an odious tax to fight. That was the first thing you should have known. Look at the makeup of the Council of State. Lawyers, you know Lawyer Mumini, meticulous lawyer, hard work, brilliant guy. You know Lawyer Avoka. You know the chairman is called what? Doajaho. You know the legal representative of the president, the former attorney general, what is her name?
The former attorney general.
The woman.
Marietta.
These are crack lawyers, even surrounding the president. And the council of state is not made up of jokers. A former chief justice is part of it. Even though she abstained, she knew why she did that. Not that she didn't find anything wrong with the petition. Knowing her, if the petition is frivolous, she would have mentioned that this petition, they cannot pursue it. So looking at the composition of the Council of State, looking at the lawyers who agreed to represent the petitioners, if I were her or if I were advising her, I would have told that enough is enough. Let's go in and negotiate for my smooth exit. Look, you remember when, like Kutin said this morning, the principles or the law governing such petitions are held in secrecy. The president duly followed that. Immediately the petition was given to her, we saw MPs who are lawyers, quoting portions of it on radio stations. When host asked them, how did you get that? Oh, but we know we are lawyers.
They said it leaked.
Yes. How come that when it got to you, it leaked? How come that when it got to you, it leaked? And you see, one thing that we must all learn from what has happened to the chief justice is this. All of us, including myself, anytime you are appointed in the name of the people, serve the Constitution and the oath that you swear in the people. Don't look at the appointing authority. He only has a duty to appoint you. But when you appoint me and finish and I sit here, my fidelity should go to the people of this country and the Constitution. Not because John Mahama appointed me, Kufu appointed me. Because if you do your work diligently and you are accountable to the people will defend you. Not the appointing authority. They can't defend you. And especially if you are on the bench and you are appointed, you should make sure the day you swear the oath and then you are put in the office, do what you can do to ensure that you dispense justice without fear or favor to the people of the country and to the best of your ability. You should not be doing things. Say that ordinary people can read your body language. They can read your commentary. They can read your attitude and the conduct of your character. To know that, oh, because Tim was appointed by John Mahama, that's why he's there. Don't give room as a public officer for people to read meaning into your conduct. I've often told people that, you see, you can even be a party chairman. If they appoint you, it is the content of your character that will let you stay in that position. That will let you stay in that position. If you dispense justice without fear or favor, and people are satisfied with your stewardship, they will defend you. Today, even if the Chief Justice is reinstated, How is he going to work with the judiciary is condemning all day long? These are people, it meant that you were not even having good relationship with them. That's a hidden aspect. It meant that they were tired of your stewardship and so on. And as Chief Justice, I should have known that I'm going on a trip. I'm not supposed to do ABC. You go and do it. The state institutional auditor general will find this and say you want to pay back. Is that not this morning? We're talking about the paying back syndrome. This morning, I think
that's right.
You people were taking me on that. Yeah, you see her too. He was rushing to pay off.
Honorable, thank you for your thoughts on this one.
And auditor general find it. So the question you had this morning, what do we want as a nation? That is even the whole Chief Justice. So our payback, it's not about payback, it's the crime. Like they were telling me this morning.
Honorable, thank you for that. So let me come to you on this one, and then we won't spend too much time. I want us to talk about a few more issues. Do you have fatigue? Are you also ready for us to move on as a people from this issue?
The woman is not fatigued, so we cannot be fair. Have fatigue.
You say she's not fatigued?
She is still in ECOWAS, and we don't know what next.
Has ECOWAS not? Have they not paused this situation and asked her to come back on home soil? The matter is still pending.
Yes.
Okay.
She is waiting for the $10 million so that she can just part away with it and then have a very fruitful pension. The truth of the matter is that, like Ima said, when an issue comes, you need cool heads to process it and give the right advice. She was misled by all those that advised her, particularly from the MPP. You know, when this matter came, the first step, people are forgetting, was that Vicente Ekwasifa went to court to ask the court to compel the president to release the petition to the woman.
I recall.
Asifa had not been, as it were, petitioned. How did he get to know that the Chief Justice had not been given a copy of the petition? So it means the Chief Justice was in cahoots, was in discussions with that fraternity. Before the court will even make pronouncement on that matter, the president made it available to the Chief Justice and even gave the Chief Justice extra days to file a response.
That the president was stepping on his toe.
I even disagreed with the president that you don't have to keep extra days. Keep within the laws. We are using the constitution. If it's 7-7, if it's 5-5. But the president went ahead and gave extra days. That should have signaled them something.
Signal you that there's something.
What signal should that have sent at that time?
That look, you don't have any case. So even if I give you more days, it won't work.
Yes.
So why would you worry yourself? But the woman said she will fight. She brought in Godfrey Dami and co. Quickly. You know, lawyers, when you are dealing with lawyers, they think that everything you file. You are here. Now there was a prima facie case established. Now we are told that couldn't have been a proper prima facie case established. I said, but have you forgotten how they established the prima facie case against Charlotte Osei? And it's the reason why the former Chief Justice could not take part in this voting. Because if she had voted against this position, some of us would have taken her to court. Because in the case of Charlotte Osei, it was the former Chief Justice, Sophia Akufu, that established the prima facie case. You know, when you are dealing with the EC boss, it's not the Council of State. The same principle. On procurement, the woman established that, look, you had issues to answer. So her abstaining was to agree with the Council of State, but you know, fraternity, former Chief Justice, you're also a Chief Justice, I cannot hurt you. But she agrees.
Yes. Actually, that's the rule of law.
Yes.
You don't go against your faith. I think it's a tradition in law.
Yes. So she decided to abstain.
It's a convention.
You understand? Look, this thing that we are talking about, Nigeria, they had a former Chief Justice called Walter Onojin.
Yeah. Indeed.
Walter Onojin, what got him out? Merely not filing or declaring his assets. Yeah. He was booted out of office. Just filing of assets, booted out of office. So the woman should have processed it. But you know this, I have a difficulty with the husband. I'm telling you.
With the husband?
Yes. This morning, which name are we mentioning?
Tokono.
Who is Tokono? That is not her maiden name. So now, As a result of her actions and inactions, another family has been drawn into the matter. Now, if you are called talk on, the people look at you with a different eye.
Right.
Well, they are family. They said for better or for worse. In sickness and in health.
Negotiate your issue out.
The role of a husband is to husband a wife.
Said till death do us part.
Yes, so you should have said, don't drag my name.
The man has not protected the wife.
He has been with her every step. You saw at the press conference.
And
He was there
protection.
right by the side.
Protection.
In fact, she wants him to be inside with her when the proceedings are ongoing.
That is why I say that the man is not playing the role of a husband. You have to husband your wife. That look, where we are going is slippery. At some point, litigations must come to an end. You understand? You say when your husband is not there, you can't think straight, but you have been writing us judgments. If you are writing the judgments,
no, she didn't say that. She said she needs some moral support from the husband and the children. Moral support because she's going through this.
Does she write with the husband?
That's another serious
Just not
matter.
fair.
Or the husband writes for her.
You understand? There is a committee in place. Just go and meet them. Some of them are your former colleagues.
Yeah.
Justice Pwama and Nenesedu. They are your colleagues. What are you afraid of?
They try to antagonize.
Just go to them, make your case, and at the end of the day, the entire country will read in between the lines whether you have been politically persecuted. You are not going before them. When we ask you, say, oh, they didn't allow your lawyer to speak, they didn't allow your husband and children to be with you, they search. Hey, sometimes they search, and the last time they searched, the lady was the one that attempted to say, you want to search a man? What is this?
So you mean yourself personally?
Personally.
Yes.
Oh?
Oliver Tambo Airport. The lady wants to search me. I said, are you okay?
So why can't the lady search you?
How can you search me?
I said, why?
When you get to the bridge, you will cross it. So clearly, but we are also losing track of the fact that the petitioners, they are not pushovers. That is what pains me. Daniel Ofori is a wealthy man.
They are not pushover crowd. The petitioners share.
Look,
and the police officer.
the police officer.
So you say they also have their deep convictions about what it is that they brought to the fore.
You understand? We had a chief justice that flouted the constitution of the land. They said the committee work must be held in camera. She boldly organized a press conference and exposed everything. Lawless woman.
So on that note, let me pause you very quickly. I've got to go on a very quick break, just about 30 seconds. When we come back, let's talk very briefly about Ken Ofori-Atta. We know that there has been some updates to that issue as well. We have a lot to discuss this morning. If you are with us and you're watching us on Facebook, thank you so much for that. It is still the best breakfast show in all of the land. We're going on a quick break. When we come back, there's more.
Does better life mean to you? Better life means going on a luxurious trip, paying the fees of my wards with ease, giving a befitting burial to my loved ones when death strikes unexpectedly. At Quality Life Assurance PLC, QLAC, we give you the better life because you deserve it. Apply for the Quality Investment Plan, Quality Group Welfare Protection, Micro Insurance Product, and Quality Funeral Support Plan. Call us today, 0556 589 662. QLAC, we inspire trust.
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
And I promised it was going to be a quick break, and so we are back. So summarize your thoughts for me in just a minute. I want us to talk about some updates to the Ken Ofori-Atta saga. The OSP has been talking a lot on social media, and I'll bring you all up to speed. But for this issue of the CJ, you say she's not fatigued. So you as a citizen, you are also not fatigued. You are following every step of the way.
We are there. And at the end of the day, I want to see the ECOWAS also pronounce on the matter. She should go through the full hog of the law with the Supreme Court and let's see the outcome. It helps our democracy. Since she did not listen to the advice proffered by myself and Yuma and a number of Ghanaians, we believe that she sees something that we don't see. So she should go ahead and we will be with her along the way.
I mean, speaking of the ECOWAS courts, the thoughts I've seen, especially from the legal fraternities, that they will most likely be waiting to see what the final results on home soil will look like before they wade into the matter. They will not concurrently be seeking to litigate a case whilst there's something happening on home soil.
The truth of the matter is the ECOWAS court, they will throw the matter out. We are just only, sometimes the outcome, but on what basis would ECOWAS overturn whatever? What we are doing? When you go to the ECOWAS court, they will make reference to the Constitution of Ghana. ECOWAS does not have a separate set of rules or laws. What does the Constitution of Ghana says in terms of in relationship with the removal of a Chief Justice? They will go through Article 146. Was there a petition? Was a petition received? Was there a prima facie case established by the Council of State in consultation with the President? Has there been any committee formed? And when a committee is formed, does the President have the right to suspend the Chief Justice? These are the matters that the ECOWAS will be looking at. And till date, I heard the Ghana Bar Association make noise, but they have not been able to pinpoint any law or provision in our constitution that have been flouted by the president. That is why they only make noise, but they don't go to court. As we speak, we have judicial service workers or staff testifying against the embattled Chief Justice. She was the head of that institution.
Indeed.
If you have people within your organization testifying against you, then someone will sit in ECOWAS and say what? It can't happen. So it's just someone trying to answer to a prolonged matters, but there has to be an end to this matter.
Absolutely. It cannot always be night. All right, let's get on to the issues of the OSP versus Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, the court has dismissed Ken Ofori-Atta's bid to quash arrest warrant. The High Court Criminal Division has dismissed an application by former Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta seeking to strike out a warrant issued for his arrest by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP. Mr. Ofori-Atta has argued that the OSP unlawfully obtained the warrant and asked the court to set aside all related proceedings, including an Interpol Red Notice alert. However, the court yesterday ruled that the application lacked merit and dismissed it in its entirety. For the uninitiated, there are a litany of issues for which the OSP is seeking to speak with Ken Ofori-Atta. The Petroleum and Minerals Revenue Assurance, you'll recall that. You've got the electricity company contract termination. Now, the very famous National Cathedral project. We have an update on that as of just about a few weeks ago. That figure having gone up from $58 million, fellow Ghanaians, to $97 million. You'll recall also the ambulance procurement saga. Ken Ofori-Atta is wanted for that. And then you've got the GRA tax P fund management. Very heavy, hefty issues that have got we need answers to. We've seen the way in which this issue has traveled all the way up until now. Now, I saw also on the X page of the OSP responding to some questions from Ghanaians asking, well, when is Ken Ofori-Atta going to be brought back to home soil? You know that the Office of the Attorney General as well as the OSP, they have been working together to at least initiate extradition procedures. We know that that has actually been initiated. The OSP says what is left is for the US to also then make their final determination on this issue. It's not as easy as I suppose many people think it is to simply request that your citizen come back onto home soil. There are many issues that have to be looked at, because I'm sure, and Solo will help us on this one, I'm sure that Mr. Ofori-Atta will also put forward the reasons why he, does not want to return. He'll be making a case to the US. He might say, well, I'm being politically persecuted, amongst other things. I don't know what he's told the US government, but we're still waiting for the US government to then, I suppose, finally give us that decision? Will they allow for him to be arrested?
No, they have to allow him. They have to allow for him to be arrested. Recently, Game Boys, they came for some young boys over here.
The FBI rounded them up.
They rounded them up. I mean, I was saying that should have been a battle. As they were coming for the young ones, they should have also brought Ken Ofori-Atta if it really meant business.
You say exchange is no robbery.
Exchange is not robbery. Helen, what are we talking about? Ken Ofori-Atta, all these cases you enumerate, it runs into billions of dollars. These young guys, the total effect of the actions does not amount to more than $100 million. So between the two, which one must be in Ghana first? Or who must exchange first? We must not be pampered. That is one of the reasons why I've had problems with the OSP. That he must act. You understand? All these monies that could be used to develop this country, one man together with few people. As we speak, have you cited Ken Ofori-Atta? People say he's sick.
Oh, not just people. The wife came and told us he has undergone some surgery. We saw some kind of letter from Mayo Clinic in the US.
It's a fake. It was a fake letter.
So how do you come by that assertion? How do you come by that assertion that Mayo Clinic letter is fake?
Ever since this matter broke, have you heard from any official of Mayo Clinic speaking? They are not dumb. They have hospital administrators. If they want to speak, they will speak. The wife is not a surgeon. The last I checked, she's a clinical psychologist. Why is the medical or the surgeons not telling us the extent of the surgeries that they've run, the extent of the sickness that we are talking about? We have not seen the man in public. The last time we were told that Santi Bediatu was on the verge of death. He was bedridden. We never saw this man. This country, people just come and then throw in something and deceive our minds. Oh, the man was nearly dying until recently. Akufo-Addo's birthday, he was walking majestically. You saw him?
I didn't see him.
I saw him.
I didn't see him.
We have not seen Ken Ofori-Atta yet, day in and day out. If it's not the lawyers, why is it that previously we were being communicated to by the lawyers? Now, people that stole, plantain, they are not even given an hour to wear their shirts when police goes to accost them. You are somewhere, you are talking about billions, and you are saying what? The court is right by striking out his application. He must come and tell us all the beautiful things he did with our finances. If we had utilized our finances very well, we would have had at least 3 Mayo clinics in this country, so that those of us without passports, when we are sick, we will not be in Mayo, but we will be in Ghana. That is what any serious person does. You don't misuse our revenue or tax revenue and go and say that this tax fund that we are talking about. We were told since 2020 that close to 52 billion was missing from our tax fund. At that time, the city to the dollar rate, we are talking about $9 billion. How much did we go to IMF to go and borrow?
3
billion. Look at the consequences of that. As a result of that IMF borrowing, our parents had to be given haircuts, shapes. That a lot of the pensioners died out of it. All these things, the works of Ken Ofori-Atta. Come and just explain to the people of this country. You say no. Look at the expose that Deloitte and Touch on the National Cathedral exposed.
The litany of infractions.
Is stealing.
Solo.
Let us go straight. You see, when you say infractions, they come with beautiful English language.
We're being euphemistic.
Stealing. They have stolen our money in the name of God.
Honorable, let me come to you. The OSP seems to be coming under a lot of fire, at least in the last, few months. Are you really effective? OSP, we're not seeing a lot of action coming from you. Every time I switch on the television, on the radio, the OSP is, being lambasted, being bombarded with this idea that it is not as effective as it should be. We pay a lot of money to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Are you seeing that needed action?
You see, the OSP, I think he's doing a meticulous job. That is my reasoning. And there are a lot of people, even within my party, who thinks otherwise. God, I've been an investigator before. And to deal with high-profile cases like this, if you don't have time-tested way of unearthing corruption and other financial irregularities, you'll be embarrassed, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And I've said it, take it from me. When they issued the OSP's office came, I've told people, and I'll say it on your radio again, that the reason why Akufo-Addo brought the OSP office was not to fight corruption or crime. It was brought purposely because Akufo-Addo wanted to use that to harass John Mahama and his appointees. That was why he brought my uncle Martin Amidu.
So this is a conspiracy theory.
I am telling you, trust me. And that was why he brought Martin Amidu. And
I put this in the realm of conspiracy theory, Honorable, but
but let me. I've
got to do a service to my listeners.
He brought it and brought Martin Amidu because Martin Amidu had challenges with the governance style of John Mahama at the time and his appointees. So that when Madnamiri is then harassing John Mahama, though he will say that, look, that's his own people. Madnamiri is part of them, so you keep quiet. But when Madnamiri turned the thing around to identify that there were mother serpents of corruption, they said, wow. And that you could not work
Honorable,
with them.
the record showed that this was a bipartisan effort, setting up the office of the special prosecutor.
When there's a constitution, we talk about the spirit and the letter. What is the spirit? Who has seen the spirit here? Have you ever seen the spirit?
Honorable.
So I'm talking about the spirit of setting up the OSP.
The spirit. No.
Yeah.
No, you can't see the spirit.
You can't see the spirit. You understand? Promises upon promises. We are coming to fight corruption. We are coming to look at the listed items you put. Which of them is small item? The petroleum minerals that SML wants to give us, take the 10 years, $1 billion. The tax revenue, the tax refund that he was talking about this morning.
Yes.
That's what they use, the slush funds, the funds that they use to do ABCD. Huh? Do you know the cost of Pokwa's interchange? $94 million. Cathedral is $97 million. So that's one Pokwa's lying down
Not
there.
the cathedral, is the whole.
That is it.
You say cathedral is
The whole, without foundation, it's $97 million.
The swimming pool.
Pokwa's is $94 million. Cathedral has chopped and added $3 million to it. The whole. Are we reasonable in this country? And the man who did that is pretending to be sick.
His wife said he's sick. Give him 3 months to recover.
He's sick and he's filing cases in the court against the OSP's office and asking that the warrant be set aside. A sick man can be doing those things.
He said going as far to put him on that red notice. Have you clicked on that link? The caliber of persons they've
My
put
sister,
in
don't
between.
don't let us do that. Look, Ken Ofori-Atta was like a monarch managing the finances of this country. He will never take advice from anyone.
Oh, yes.
Not even the president.
Not even the president. He goes to cabinet meeting, after all, he picks his bags and he walks away.
I mean, you just leave.
No one would advise Ken. When we know in this country, when they were told that these are Yale, what do you call it? What are the professions? Economists,
Julian economists.
Professor of Columbia, blah, blah, blah. So you went and trained to steal.
No.
So you went and trained to come and do that, to damage. Do you know the amount of people who died because of Ken Ofori-Atta in this country? The DDEP. He recounted the bank SADA here. There's even one they've not added. The Frontier Health Services.
Yes.
The Frontier Health
You
Services.
mean the COVID testing at Kotoka?
The COVID testing. You remember when it came to the vetting of the ministers, they asked all of them, they said they didn't know that Ken Ofori-Atta, Asantima said, is it something, the evidence, what do you normally call it? Apokron or something.
Apo.
He knows who gave the what do you call it? The Frontier Health Services the contract to operate.
Right.
Ken came to this country. The whole world were waiting. He swerved everybody. He never told us. Is that how to run a country? When dialysis, people were dying in Kolebu. When people were dying in Kolebu, just 4 million. When Asante Hene is going about with a cap in hand, begging to get money to heal Akonfo-Anokye for just $10 million. And that is where all the elephant votes come from. You allow one single fellow to collapse this country. You cannot even borrow $1 from outside. And today, let him come and account for his stewardship. He's giving us all manner of excuses. Is that not? We always refer to the two of you. They were saying that you can steal money and then go and invest and keep saving. Is that not what was happening? Look at Data Bank. Data Bank metamorphosized from a collapsing bank to one of the most well-resourced banks because you were just doing borrowing and they were as book runners. Beyond that, Ken Ofori-Atta had brought over 60 of Data Bank staff
To Minister of Finance.
to Minister of Finance to serve as consultants to him. They are consulting you and you are also using your bank to run and take money. Really?
It's a Ponzi scheme.
And you were paying them as consultant. You were paying the workers as
It's time for Ken Ofori-Atta to come home.
He has to come. He has no excuse because when he was running things, he thought that he was the alpha and omega of everything here. Now, this promises, that's why I say that. You see, this promise, they don't do anything. If nakedness promises you a cloth, you ask of his name.
If nakedness
promises you a cloth, you ask of his name. So you cannot be there and be promising. He should come and answer the question. And people were saying that they should interrogate him on Zoom. No one is interrogating on Zoom. In fact, he committed a crime against the Republic of Ghana.
When he did it, you said he didn't do it on Zoom.
He didn't do it on Zoom.
So we mustn't question him on Zoom.
Because when you're interrogating someone, you must look at his body language. And so that's why lawyers will not cross-examine you when you're in hoofs. When you cover your head, they will not.
It's all important.
So you must come here because the crime was committed against the Republic of Ghana.
Honorable,
so you should not say that. And an accused fellow is even determine how he should be treated. Have you heard this before? You are an accused. Then you are just like the Colombia drug lord, Escobar. Escobar was determining which prison he should be sent to.
Hey, now we've got Escobar. Emmanuel, let me get your final bite, and you have the final word on this one. There's another topic we weren't able to touch, but I'm sure we'll be able to revisit in due course. Yeah. Do you also join in the cries of everyday Ghanaians who say, we're not really seeing that action so far? Or do you think the OSP is on the right track? It's a critique I see coming up.
Well, my dear Helen, public office comes with accountability. And we must not treat public office as personal offices.
Right. Emmanuel, get a bit closer for me.
In fact,
there we go.
If you look at the activities of the OSP over the period, and you juxtapose that with the money, taxpayers' money we have used in funding the office, I think he has performed abysmally. I know investigations take a lot of time, because you have to do a lot of things meticulously. But the OSP is making so many mistakes. You see, Ken Ofori-Atta's angle, let me start from that. I am surprised that Ken Ofori-Atta, who has always quoted Bible verses to us, will be running away from accountability. If I were him, I would better face the authorities to clear my name than the knee-jerk reactions they've been doing. First, he left the country on the 2nd of January when his cousin was still the president and never returned, And he gave the special prosecutor written notices when he will be in this country.
But this was after the fact, after he had actually left. He says he gave notice to the chief of staff, I believe, but not to the OSP. OSP.
No. When the OSP demanded he wanted him here, he wrote that he was indisposed and he would be in Ghana at a particular time.
Right.
He never met those dates.
That's right.
Understand? Until the red tape measures took place where they put him on the Interpol list. And then the OSP made a somersault after his lawyers mounted a challenge to remove his name from the Interpol rail tape over certain legal, Then the time came and he's gone back there. Now he's not fighting to get his name out, leaving the substantive case unattended to. So to me, if you look at the cases so far, I think the U.S. have cleared the initial hurdle. And don't let us make a mistake. It is not easy to bring somebody of that stature through the Interpol list. His lawyers are fighting there in the U.S. and some are also fighting here in Ghana. But the critical test had been passed when they were trying to assert that he was being politically prosecuted. But the U.S. authorities, after examining the case, have come to the no. So now it's left with the other hurdles where he has to go to court. A judge will now do, how the system works. Agree that indeed you'll be safe when you come back here and you'll be given due process. So to me, OSP has never prosecuted anybody so far. The only success story had been 7 cases, and it's also through plea bargains. So it's looking as if the plea bargain has become the new normal in Ghana and Africa, so to speak. And I don't think it augurs well for our democracy. Now, you heard of Paul Adumochi's case yesterday by the same special prosecutor.
That's right.
Look at the bail conditions.
Sadly,
is it on the table?
It's not on the table. In fact, I'm being counted down. So if you summarize for me in a minute,
so
please.
I'm just trying to say that Kisa Ajabi is making some mistakes out there, and I was just trying to use Paul Adumochi's as an example when he said the bail condition was for him to bring 2 landed properties his name.
That's right.
So
in this jurisdiction,
logically that is wrong. If you are giving the guy a self-recognizant bill, you don't need to produce any property. If you feel that the guy is a flight risk, that's why you have to get somebody to come and bail him with such landed property, so that if he has gone, you can get him. So I think that as a country, the special prosecutor, we need to have a second look at his activities. And he's making the office a personal office and a public office. And let's get things running. And I'll call on the president, or if any citizens feel that, look, this guy is not using our taxpayers' money rightly, we can write petition and get him removed. We don't want a situation like the Martinamidu case when you were trying to bring your conspiracy theory when he was removed. Then these people also say that it's Nana Akufo-Addo who brought you. So if he's prosecuting you, we are not involved. We don't want that kind of things. We want an independent OSP who will do things the right way within the ambit of the law.
Emmanuel, I am grateful. And just in a minute for me, please. I've got to go.
Paul Adumochi didn't say he has no property. He said, I don't have a property in Ghana.
Yes,
he said I don't property elsewhere.
So is it a self-recognizant bill?
No, but it's what the OSPD is. Is it not within the confines of law?
No.
If you are giving me that law,
I'm not going to fall into this trap.
If you are giving me,
let me say a very big thank you to my 3 gentlemen in the studio today. Thank you for enriching the discussion. Emmanuel Kutin is the executive director, African Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Also had in the studio Mr. Timothy Awotrim, former MP Bilsa North. Always a pleasure to speak with you. And of course, Solomon Owusu is a senior communicator, Movement for Change. Gentlemen, I'm wishing you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I can't wait till we have another time to speak.
We'll be back.
Same to you.
Good to see you. Enjoy your weekend, gentlemen. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, time check. It is some 17 minutes to the top of the hour. And we still have a little time to go until we're bidding you farewell. But DJ Abiam is in the house. Let's enjoy some tunes and then we'll come back.